Well, there still may be 4 weeks left of summer, but you could already get your WrestleMania tickets. You know, it's only been about 2 months since I last uploaded my final WrestleMania vlog from WrestleMania 38. It was in beautiful Dallas, Texas. A great time. The return of Cody Rhodes, Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out of retirement. You had Drew McIntyre kicking out of the end of days. One of the greatest WrestleManias I've ever been to. I absolutely loved it. And yet here we are, August 12th. And WrestleMania 39 tickets already go on sale. The hype for WrestleMania is becoming an all-year experience, despite the fact that WWE is having more stadium shows than ever before, and it has at least 2 more before the end of this year, and then has Royal Rumble next year. So it is absolutely crazy. But I will say, yesterday I watched the WrestleMania ticket release launch party. WWE was nice enough to put this up, and I thought it was awesome. And I had such a great time watching it, and I will get into it in a bit. But if it's your first time visiting the channel, thanks so much for checking us out here on Watch Along Wrestling. Throw your dubs up, have a good time, hop aboard, subscribe. I'm so excited to see you, and I'm amped, man. This is fun. Was not expecting WrestleMania tickets to go on sale so early. Traditionally, WrestleMania tickets go on sale in November. If you go ahead and take a look at I was at the WrestleMania tickets release launch party back in 2019 for WrestleMania 36, ironically enough, which unfortunately did not have any fans at it. But that was in November, and yet here we are in the middle of August, middle of the summer, and already the excitement is starting for WrestleMania 39. Another 2-day event, and I know people absolutely adore the 2-day event. I think from a viewing experience from home, it's a great thing. It's a whole weekend of wrestling, whole weekend of WrestleMania. I'll be honest, from a live perspective, and I've said it once, I'll say it a million times, I do not like the 2-day experience. It's fun, don't get me wrong. I have a good time when I go. But for me, I think it takes a lot out of the Raw after WrestleMania. I think by the time 2 days of WrestleMania are over, you're just wiped. But 2, you have to consider the fact that you're not getting a discount on tickets because there's 2 days. It's not like I think there's a small pass that goes available pretty quickly, but then that's about it. And it's not that much of a steep discount. So you're paying premium pricing for both days of WrestleMania, which adds up. And then, honestly, this is the first year I did it this past year at 38. Again, loved the show. But by the time WrestleMania Saturday was finished, we were exhausted. We didn't get up till like 12 the next day. The whole day was pretty much shot. And then we had to go back and get amped up for a second day of WrestleMania. And it just wasn't the same. I think that first day of Mania, we were just, the excitement, so amped, so ready for everything. And then it ends, and you felt like you had a full WrestleMania show. So to then get yourself back running again for the second show, it's too much. I prefer one WrestleMania show. I understand. I'll never forget being at WrestleMania 35 and asking my brother-in-law how many more matches there were, thinking he was going to say about 4 or 5, and I think he said 11, and I was like, what? And I get it. It's a long show, but I think that if they just made it one epic WrestleMania day, it would be wonderful. That said, that's just not what they're doing anymore. I don't think they'll ever go back to the one-day WrestleMania. And if I'm being honest, I do think that like this past WrestleMania, there wasn't really too many things that jumped out as like, this is not worthy of being a WrestleMania match. So they did a good job. They put together 2 solid shows, and maybe at some point I'll come around on it. Will I be attending this year's WrestleMania? That's the plan. The plan is to attend. It certainly is way too early for me to go ahead and plop money down on tickets. And I think at this day and age, with WrestleMania being at such a large venue like SoFi Stadium, they're not going to sell this out right away. They're going to continue to put tickets on sale. I think they're getting an early jump just so they can get as many people into the building for both days of SoFi Stadium right away. But I'm not worried about it. I'm going to wait it out. This past year's WrestleMania, we waited till the last minute. When we went to SummerSlam back in 2021, we at Allegiant Stadium, we waited until the day before SummerSlam, went all the way to Vegas and waited until the day before SummerSlam to buy tickets, and were able to get tickets in the VIP section for like $75. So sometimes you get really lucky by waiting things out. Even did it with Bad Bunny when I went to go see him. we got face value tickets, and months beforehand, if we had gotten tickets, it would have been like $800, and we were like right there, eye level with Bad Bunny. So, I mean, it was awesome. So with that said, I always usually will wait it out. I'm not worried about not getting tickets, despite some of the awkward history I've had with showing up and tickets being fake, or showing up and not being able to get into the venue, or getting tickets at all. So with that being said, you think I'd learn, but no, I'm going to hold off. Specifically now, having a family, it's just way too early to be able to prepare and figure out if I'm going to be doing the trip to Las Vegas. I mean, to LA. I'd say probably around February or March is when we'll start to set the plan in motion. April 1st, April 2nd, then boom, hopefully we'll be in LA and with a nice week set up. I think, honestly, if I'm thinking about it, I think it's probably you start your week with WrestleMania, and then probably head to Anaheim, do a little Disneyland, that whole deal. So I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. I love that it's going to be in LA. And if the launch party last night was any indication, WWE is going to be pulling out all the stops for this event. Last night they had the launch party. Now, comparatively speaking, when I went to the launch party for WrestleMania 36, I was very excited for this. I made a second trip to Orlando, Florida in about a month. Not necessarily to go to the launch party specifically. I wanted to hang out with my main man Steve down in Orlando, Florida. We were able to go to check out Star Wars Land. This was like right before I was starting a brand new job. So it was a great little second trip that I ended up throwing in there. But with that said, it really was probably an unnecessary trip. And one of the reasons I went, without doubt, was so that I can get to one of these ticket release parties. And it was okay, but I don't think it was like as big of a deal as it should have been. You had Kurt Angle come out. He welcomed everyone. He waved. That was the last you saw of him. And then you had, I think, the mayor of Tampa Bay come out, and kind of the governor, some politician. You can go back in my check out my vlog for that. I'll put in the link below. But it wasn't really a great event by any stretch. I mean, you got to meet a couple of wrestlers. There was some meet and greets. I think it was like Nia Jax, Boogeyman, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Mark Henry. So a lot of legends or folks who were inactive at the time. Ruby Riott, I believe, was there. So it was cool, but at the same time, you take a look at last night's event. First off, WWE put the ticket release party, for the first time in my knowledge, for the first time ever, actually streamed it live on YouTube. There were a ton of issues with this in terms of the sound quality. The sound quality was not good. The crowd was mic'd terribly, but literally sitting on the couch at about 9:15, 9:30, and all of a sudden I get a little alert that WWE click the link, WWE's ticket release party. And I thought, okay, this has already gone on earlier, and they're just going to... At first, I didn't even realize WrestleMania tickets were going on sale so soon. But then when I thought about it, I was like, all right, they're obviously putting together the usual 90-second video where they show the highlights, and it looks like such a great party that a knucklehead like myself would plan to go all the way from New York to Florida to go attend one of these things, and then you get there and it's not that great. But no, instead they actually streamed live over an hour and a half of the release party, and I thought it was actually a lot of fun. They had basically every big name in WWE there, with the exception of a few. Bianca Belair, who I think is becoming their biggest, one of the most marketable stars for WWE, probably the biggest star for WWE right now, who's on the show every week. I mean, I think Roman's obviously out. Becky Lynch is obviously out, and I think she might have even surpassed Becky Lynch, but her and Becky were both there with Snoop Dogg, so Snoop Dogg was there. Start your rumor mill as to whether or not this has anything to do with Sasha Banks, but Snoop Dogg was there. They presented him with a kind of a custom belt for himself. He actually performed, which was pretty cool, and they actually had it at SoFi Stadium. One of the things that I was disappointed by was that they did not have the launch party for WrestleMania 36 at Raymond James Stadium. That's typically what they've done. They've opened up the stadium, everyone's been able to get out there, run out onto the field, and at least you're on a football field. Like it's always looked very cool, but at Raymond James Stadium, they did it like in the kind of lobby area before you even get into the stadium. So it was kind of strange from that perspective, but last night, no, SoFi was opened up. They looked like they had thousands of people there for the event, and it's free to show up. So, I mean, you really, if you're in town and you're a fan of WWE, you want to be there because it's a pretty exciting day. Certainly not worth the trip to go, but I think it's fun if you're in town. And that's how they get so many people there. It's free. So you get to see some live matches. You get to meet some people. I don't know if they had a meet and greet. I'd only assume they did. But, I mean, you had everyone there. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Seth Rollins, You had Miz was there, did a Miz TV with JoJo Siwa. You also had Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias, who's a huge wrestling fan. I think he was actually great. And then you had some solid live matches. You had Los Lotharios against the Street Profits. That was the main event of the night. You had Theory going up against Ricochet. And comparatively speaking, like, when they did the event back for WrestleMania 36, you had like a variety of very low-level NXT matches. So this was like, they threw everything that they could at this. And then some folks that weren't able to be there, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, and Doudrop, were actually in Saudi Arabia, I'm assuming to promote the next WWE event that's going to be there, which is crazy to think they traveled all that distance just to be there and do that. But they actually sent in video messages hyping people up, saying, hey, WrestleMania tickets go on sale. Go get your tickets. This is going to be great. This is going to be awesome. We're excited to be there. And it was really, really cool. Dominic Mysterio was there. He was talking about WrestleMania 22 with Rey Mysterio. Queen Zelina was there, who we hadn't seen in a while, so that was fun. They had Santos Escobar on hand, and he was talking about how hopefully he'll make his first Mania. And I thought having him featured kind of shows how much at least they see in him. So really fun day with the launch party. The WrestleMania tickets, they do go on sale today to the general public. I do think that I think you could have gotten pre-sale tickets as of yesterday with the code TWEETS, which is a little annoying because I do think if you're going to have a launch party, that should be the first opportunity to get tickets. You want to go ahead and make them available to NFL ticket holders or anyone who has a SoFi ticket, season tickets. I get it. That makes a certain degree of sense, right? But after that, I think it should be launch party and then public on sale, and then everyone goes for it and tries the best they possibly can. They didn't do that. They had a public already. They've had a pre-sale, so a variety of tickets have already gone on sale. But I don't think anyone will have any issue getting them, and it should be a lot of fun. WrestleMania 39 coming right around the bend, and you got to give them credit because they were building up everything yesterday from 38. And you almost forget that it's only been a few months. So much has happened, but that Stone Cold Steve Austin came out of retirement and had a match at Mania. They showed some of that yesterday against Kevin Owens, and very, very cool. It's weird to think I was there for that. That was an awesome moment. And now again, WrestleMania 39, the build continues. Will you be going to WrestleMania? Let me know if you're feeling excited about it. If it's your first WrestleMania, I'm sure you're really pumped. Let me know what your plans are for that. And before you know it, as Triple H said when he kicked off the special, it might feel very far away, but before you know it, it'll be back here again. So WrestleMania 39 should be a really big one at SoFi Stadium, and I hope they continue with these launch parties. Put them on. They had like 22,000 people watching this thing live last night. People were into this, and it starts the excitement for Mania. We have another big show just coming up in a couple weeks, though, for them. So Clash at the Castle, before you know it, is going to be here at the end of the summer. I'm enjoying the summer for what we can get, but it'll be here before you know it. In any event, thank you so much for checking out the video today. I'll see you guys in the next one.